The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Hosted by me, Carl B. Phillips, Uncle Carl.
The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Get ready for another great conversation on the Carl B. Phillips Show. Welcome to the Carl B. Phillips Show. I am Carl B. Phillips, Uncle Carl. Today's guest, he's an author, a musician, songwriter, singer, recording artist, husband, father, and the pastor of Vertical Encounter Church. Please help me welcome Pastor Gayle Brannan. What's going on, Pastor Gayle?
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Now, as I warned you, I'm going to ask a couple of random questions. So the first random question, it doesn't feel like Christmas until I hear, fill in the blank.
Until I hear, Merry Christmas.
Okay. Somebody say Merry Christmas to you?
Yeah, when people start saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays in the stores, shopping, it starts to kind of get me in that mood. Almost is when I like and then also when I see snow, like snow's a biggie for me.
Snow is big for you. What Christmas song makes you feel like it's Christmas time when you hear it?
The First Noel.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. First Noel. Okay. I was doing some research and I came across a post that you did on Instagram. It was about your wife, Shawnee. You recently celebrated 14 years of marriage, and I'm going to quote you because you got game, bro. You stated, Shawnee is what happens when you put class, spirituality, creativity, wisdom, faithfulness, kindness, compassion, diligence, loyalty, and love all together. What has spending Christmas with the love of your life over the past 14 years meant to you?
Wow, man, I don't know how long we got. She really has. She was such an upgrade on every level. I think that it's still shocking in a way. There's times that I kind of sit back and as a matter of fact, yesterday we played a quick game. Not a game. We was joking around. Sometimes we like to just. One of the things that makes us click or connect is our sense of humor. You know, you got to be with somebody you can laugh with. Right. And there was something, I can't remember what got us on this frame of thinking, but we talking about just, friendship and stuff like that. And she had asked me, could you ever, because we were talking about another couple that had gotten divorced and now they're good friends, but they're no longer together. And for some reason it got us, not that we're doing great, but not that we'd ever go down that road. But I was trying to put myself in their shoes. I said, for a brief second, my heart dropped, really just even trying to imagine doing life without you by my side. Like it literally made my heart drop for a second. And for me, Shawnee is she's everything. That's God's favor. That's every weakness I have, her strengths make them. She fills in the gaps. She matures me. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for her. There's so much I could go on and talk to you about, as it relates to that. But every day is just kind of like, sometimes I'm just like, man, this is my life. So I love that woman for sure.
Now, I also follow her on social media. She is a fashionista. Love fashion. You are a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. How do y'all make that work when it's time to do stuff, when it's time to go out? Because I could just see, hey, we got this big thing. Can I just wear some jeans and a t-shirt? And she wants to go do this elaborate outfit. How do y'all make that work?
Listen, I have to ask, man, too, because I'm like, well, wait a minute, what's the dress? Because I'll have jeans and t-shirt, and then by the time she comes down and gets in the car, as the last person getting in the car, she comes down fly, and I'm like, Shawnee, I'm looking like some bum, and you looking like you going out, to party. I said, man. some of that stuff, is not me trying to dress down. It's that I didn't know. So, but no, she's certainly a fashion queen. And her business is doing wonderful. And I mean, we've got people all throughout the gospel industry calling her, and I need this, I need that. Can you help style me? Can you, put this, just God's using that side of her uniqueness right now for certain to just kind of build wealth. And then also, it's something that she just loves to do. She loves fashion.
I've seen some of her posts and how she could take something basic, and next thing you know, it's just beautiful how she puts everything together. Just really nice.
Oh yeah, she's got an eye for it.
You're also a girl dad. What's your favorite thing to do with your girls during the holidays?
Honestly, man, just cuddle.
Hmm.
I love blankets, getting on the couch, putting a movie on, getting some popcorn, and just cuddling with them. So we're in them years right now to where there's we can still do that. So my old 11, so she's starting to get out of it, but I'm gonna milk every part of it while I got it. So, but just chilling with them and love when they fall asleep on my chest or in my arms or anything like that. That's my favorite part. Really, just kind of just with them and chilling.
So, what are some of your favorite holiday movies to watch with the girls?
Oh, number one is The Grinch, Jim Carrey.
Okay.
They like Elf. I'm not. That don't do nothing for me. I watch it for the kids, but I'm more of a nostalgia guy. I like some of the old stuff, the original Rudolph. Uh, I like. Let's see what else. I do like this Tim. What's the guy that was on? Tim. Is it Tim Allen? The Santa
Okay.
Claus series. They love those. And then I'm not sure what Home Alone. That's a classic. You gotta love Home Alone.
So here's the big debate: is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Man, I just debated with Darius James the other day. No, that is not a Christmas movie. I never even considered that, and now I'm since he said it, I'm seeing there's a lot of people that actually think that is a Christmas movie, man. I don't know why though. Why? What is Christmassy about that movie?
Because it happens during Christmas time, I guess.
Well, another one too that I love is honestly is The Preacher's Wife with
Oh yeah.
Whitney and Denzel. Yeah.
Who would imagine a king? That's one of my favorite songs from that movie.
Oh man. And then who can sing better than Whitney, man?
Oh, awesome singer. Here's another random question. During the holiday season, what is your favorite Christmas food or holiday food? It could be snack,
Oh
dessert.
my God. Let me see here. Does it have to be food or can it be dessert?
It could be dessert.
Cherry cheesecake.
Okay.
Huge cherry, but it's got to be homemade. It can't be Sara Lee. It has to be homemade. Um, and the other thing, I just like I don't know if it's Christmassy. I always have a unhealthy taste for lemon pepper wings on Christmas. I don't know what it is. So
That's your
yeah,
Christmas tradition. You got to have some lemon pepper wings.
yeah. I don't know what it is. And being from Detroit, I'm sure you're hip to new wave. So
Yeah.
those lemon pepper, they hit different.
We talked about your wife and your girls. What are some of the traditions you and your wife have started for your family for the holidays, besides the lemon pepper wings?
Yeah, so every year for Christmas we there's a light show that we like to take them to. And so we just kind of go through, you stay in your car and you just drive through it's like a mile or so of lights, just a whole bunch of Christmas lights and ornaments and all that stuff. And then also, I like to, if it's when it snows, because it usually snows somewhere in January. But when it snows, I know it's after Christmas. Well, see, this is what people, I think a lot of people forget that the 12 days of Christmas begins at Christmas. it goes after Christmas.
Mm.
So it's actually 2 weeks of Christmas. So we like to just take them sledding, man. Find some park with sledding, hot cocoa, just common stuff, nothing major. If there's something going on downtown, like to take them. Detroit's beautiful, with all the lights and all the stuff that they got down there. Absolutely.
You are also the lead pastor of Vertical Encounter Church, along with your wife, who's the co-lead pastor. What is the message you want the members of Vertical Encounter to embrace during the Christmas season?
Family. I think that's the beauty of the season. Is I hear a lot of people say things, well, it's a pagan holiday and it was adopted, this and that and this and that stuff, and I always tell our church, we don't really know the date when Jesus was born. And I always tell my church during this time, this is the time of year that we choose to celebrate the birth of our King. Mm-hmm. And it's very important that during this year that you just make sure that you are giving love, loving your brother and loving your sister. It's a time for, I believe, healing and reconciliation and just possibly conversations that end in healing. I always like to go into the new year with a fresh start, so to speak. And so I just encourage people, family. And then also this time of year is such a reminder to some people of what they've lost. Right. And so it's a beautiful opportunity to just love them people, let them know they're not alone. And we're thinking about you. And I know one thing we do every year is being a pastor, I've got members that they don't have any family. Mm-hmm. And so I always invite them over. I want you to come on over, your family to us. We love on you. I want you to get your Uggs, get your pajamas, come on over. You can stay the night if you want to. We're going to watch movies. We're going to do whatever, man, play with the kids, do whatever you want to do. And try to take the opportunity to help maybe heal some wounds, that the ones that I can, or at least in healing. And so, yeah, it's all about family for me, for sure. And the older I get, that's the destiny anyway. That's the destination. It's family. It's everything.
You kind of touched on the loneliness part and the depression that a lot of people deal with during the holiday season. For a lot of people, it's hard even to get out the house. You open your home, like you stated, but for those who kind of want to just lay in that place, what advice or what would you say to that person to kind of get them to break out of that cycle?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because I think that people are so uniquely different. And I think the older I'm getting, the more I'm real considerate as to how or what I say to anybody. I think that a listening ear can possibly be the best solution sometimes. And some people mistake, when you think about listening, some people don't understand there's a difference between real listening and then waiting to speak. Some people are just waiting to speak. And I'm trying to really understand the power of listening, because during these times, most of the things that people need, the wisdom's already within them. They just need, as they talk, they start untangling these things. And I'm just trying to listen. So it's not so much anything I would say to anybody. It's more about what I could just be for somebody. Just an ear, a heart, a hand. Hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you today, man. It's such an honor to have you in my life. Those type of things. But, I found that to be a little more effective. If that makes any sense.
I think that makes a lot of sense, because when people are going through the holiday season, like you talked a little bit about how people have dealt with loss, especially, I'm sure you're finding as you're getting older, people are losing loved ones, are losing parents. It's a whole new space for them, and how to navigate that space without those loved ones. So I think
Yes,
what
sir.
you're saying is true. Sometimes people just need an ear or just to hear for someone to say that, you know what, I know this is a rough time for you, but I'm thinking about you and I'm praying for you.
Yeah, yeah. And actually really praying.
Right.
Sometimes we say things and we say it and then we forget to do it. But I think really praying is important because yeah, it is. It's tough because it is such a season of family. And then when they lose somebody that was so dear to their heart and seeing everybody else spend time with family, it's almost like a reopening, so to speak, of that wound. And
Right.
so it can be very tough. And some of those things like that I don't know that I don't know that it ever really gets easier,
Right.
So I just think, man, just Jesus, man, love one another as I have loved you. I just think if we could get that part of the gospel down, so much stuff would be a whole lot better, you know, in the world that we live in. So these days, that's what I'm just trying to do. You know, it seems like the older I get, man, the less dogmas that I have, the less this I don't have all the answers. I never did. I just thought I did. But it's just now these days it's just, oh no man, nothing but love. And that's what I'm trying to give them.
It's funny because when you hit your 50s and 60s, it really changes. Like, I just want to love on people and be at peace. It takes to have peace. You need me to be wrong, I will be wrong. I just want to be at peace with my brother,
Yeah.
my
Oh,
sister.
that peace is valuable, isn't it?
Oh, it's very valuable. I want to come home to a peaceful home. I want to be at a peaceful job. I want to be at peace at church. Yeah, peace is important.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about music. When I first met you, you were coming on the scene and just like blowing all of us away. I'm like, who is this guy? How did you get your start in music?
Um, wow. I've been singing at church since I was 5. Actually, I had somebody ask me that yesterday. 5 years old. I started singing. I'm originally from Battle Creek, Michigan, but then when my parents divorced, we moved down to like West Frankfort, Illinois, but basically Kentucky. And the earliest time I remember singing was there. I used to sing this song called "If I Had It to Do All Over Again," and I'll never forget. My mom said she looked around at the church and she just seen grown men crying, and she
Oh, wow.
said, "The hand of God has been on my life to do that." And so, ever since then, I just kept singing and just kept trying to give my gift back to the Lord. But as far as like traveling and those type of things, that kind of happened somewhere in the Flint days because I ended up moving to Flint and taking a worship job up at this church called Greater Harvest in Flint.
Mm.
And I was there from like 2000 to 2009, somewhere in that ballpark.
Mm.
And from there I had grew a lot, both in gift and so many other things. And so it just kind of one thing led to the next. And I don't I there's no way for me to really there's no strategy to it. It was really just kind of just loving on God and surrendering, and then it just your gift makes room for you. So that's kind of how that all happened.
So you decided to become a recording artist. What made you go down that path?
Oh man, it was always a dream of mine. I just always grew up around guys that was doing studio and just all of that stuff. And so I just really, really, really wanted to write my own music and put it out and all of those type of things. But then just one thing kind of led to the next. I think I never really imagined myself being like this national artist type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus Cole from the group Commission. Marcus is the guy that kind of got me like, man, this can go here if we do A, B, and C and stuff like that. And he kind of put that thinking in my head. And so, that's the first time I ever considered, like, man, this could actually be bigger than something I'm just doing locally. And so, yeah, but other than that, I just was always around music. You just loved it, and influenced by a lot of great artists in the gospel world.
Mm.
And one thing led to the next.
Let's talk about the Gayle Brannan Christmas project that you dropped last year. So we're in the holiday season. The Gayle Brannan Christmas project features Mitchell Jones and Darius James. Of course, Mitchell
Yeah.
from Commission, Darius James, awesome worship leader, awesome musician, awesome artist. Talk about that project and how you guys all came together to make that project happen.
Oh man. So first of all, anybody that follows me knows I'm a commission head. So I love commission. First time and it's crazy, man, it's actually, so I was at this church in Battle Creek, and this church was very religious. I was a kid, so it felt like everybody was 70 and up at that church. Just, there was no youth. And I had went back. I was out because I used to, when I first started, I used to skip school sometimes. We was very poor, so I'd have to go to the church, and I'd play this old clavinova that they used to have. And this is how I used to play, and they would always take me back to school. But one time I went back there and I was turning on the sound system, and I was getting ready to play, and I said, well, what is this commission? And they had the Irreplaceable Love record back there, which didn't make, to this day, I felt like an angel dropped that off, because this was a white church, man. I'm like, these people don't know about commission, and especially these people. And so I said, let me put this in, and I heard, whoa, the first song that and I said, oh my God, because you got to remember, at that time I was sneaking and listening to Boyz II Men, so my mom would not let us do it. And I was like, when I first heard how do that, I was in heaven. It did something to me, and I said, I gotta find something like this that is saying Jesus, so I can listen to it. And when I heard that, I said, I literally thought it was Boyz II Men. Come to find out, Wanye was on that record. Wow. And so I said, oh my God, who is he? What is this? Learned every song on it. Became an instant fan. Went back, got all their old records. Listened to them every day. Tried to learn to play all the melodies, all the stuff. And so Mitch was, even then, years before I met Shawnee or anybody, that was the voice, because he was I liked Fred, but Mitch had this smooth melodic R&B. It was something so different. And I said I got to learn everything this guy is doing. And so come years later, I ended up meeting my wife. We was at Street Jam. You remember Street Jam with Bishop Merritt? Used to do that back in the day. That's where I met Shawnee.
Okay.
I had actually seen her singing on TV. I was on a missionary trip in Haiti, and I'd seen her singing with Fred on BT. I said, who is that? And just about 4 months later, I don't know if you know a guy named Chip Dixon. Mm-hmm. He's a producer, very talented guy, was signed with Rodney Jerkins for a while. And Chip introduced me to her, and I seen her, and it was over from that point. And I will never forget, she had called me about 4 weeks later. She said, hey, I'm singing with Third Dimension. I said, who is that? She said, well, I just need you to come to rehearsal with me. I said, well, who is Third Dimension? She said, that's Mitchell Jones' group. I said, Mitchell Jones from Commission? She said, yeah. I said, oh man, I'm in. So we go there, and we sit down at this table with him and Carlene and Mitch. He said, man, well, sing something. And that's nerve-wracking. It's, I can't remember what I sang, but I sang it. The next thing you know, it was like we've known each other forever. And now, he's one of my best friends. And so it's just one of those things to where I've learned so much from him, not just as a man of God, but also like the vocal production, how to hear melodies, how to think about things differently, how to space certain things in the song, letting stuff breathe, how to interpret stuff. He's such a mastermind with that. So when we was doing the Christmas record, Mitch was here, and I said, man, why don't you sing on this verse? And Darius, why don't you sing on the other verse?
Mm-hmm.
And so he did, and the next thing you know, man, it was history. And so, and Darius in his own right is just a phenomenal artist.
Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, it turned out great.
Talk about Mitch. I don't think people recognize the sound that he brought to commission a lot of times.
Oh, there's no commission.
Yeah. Yeah. Even I was looking at the Seven Project, and I didn't realize like some of the slow jams are Mitch on that.
Which one?
Seven.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some of the slow stuff on there that Mitch does. What is your favorite Christmas song that you've done? Well, I'm sure you love all of them, but on your project, which one sticks out to you the most?
Probably the one with Mitch and Darius. Oh Come All You Faithful. I love it. I think it's a classic. See, with Christmas projects, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old. I just think that I don't mind hearing new songs for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about the oldies. It's the nostalgia that makes it Christmas for me. Like right. I don't mind taking a song or remixing it. That's cool. But I just like the originals. I like Away in the Manger, Oh Holy Night, The First Noel. What's the Donny Hathaway? This Christmas. That stuff. Like, I mean, them are classics. And every time you sing them, they're associated with a lot of people with good memories. And so, and I think that's what people's really looking for in this season, is just to sometimes feel like a kid again and feel the beauty of what that was.
The innocence of the time when you first heard the song, when you start learning it. So yeah. I did say we're gonna have you sing a little bit.
Good night.
We talked about one of your favorite songs off the project. Can you just give us a little bit of "Oh Come All You Faithful"?
I'm gonna try. Can you hear that? Mm-hmm. Oh, come, let us adore Him. Oh, come, let's. Voice is gone. Adore Him. Come, let's adore Him. Praise the Lord. We'll give Him all the glory. We'll give Him all the glory. We'll give Him all the glory. Praise the Lord.
Wow.
About all I got.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for, again, being a part of the holiday show of the Carl B. Phillips Show. How can people follow you on social media? How can they find out information about your church? And how can they get your music?
Yeah, music is on all streaming platforms. I did have to pull down, and maybe this is a good opportunity to share this. So my record that came out in 2021 that everybody was really loving, I had to pull that down because we got a deal with Sony. And so the top of the year, we're doing a re-release through Sony. And so they wanted to make sure they put it out through their distribution companies. And so we pulled, because man, the streaming, they're paying us artists peanuts.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And so
that's a whole nother show.
It's robbery. It's just highway robbery. I mean, it's how do you get less than a penny a stream? how do you pay anybody less than a penny? So I don't know how that works, but so they pulled it down. So that one's coming back out. So for all the artists out there that that's looking for that record, the joint with me and Eric Dawkins on it, that'll be back out in February, and with about 4 new tracks on it. So they can get it on any streaming platform. The Christmas stuff is out right now. You can get my older record, Come to the Cross, all that stuff's out there. And so, yeah, just follow me on, any social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that stuff. So this is a year I've got to do better with kind of making sure I'm really locking in on my social media stuff, because everybody keeps telling me that's kind of the future. So I got to just make sure I keep posting and keep doing all the stuff I need to do. But it's there, it's visible. And so I appreciate the support. Anybody that wants to support or connect. I'm a pretty down to earth, touchable type of guy. So, I would love to work and do anything we can to build the kingdom together with the gifts God's given us. So,
well, one
yes,
thing I must say, Matt, is I've known you. That has been your heart, just building the kingdom. I'm grateful that you and I have connected over the years. I love your ministry and what you do. Again, like I said, I follow you and your wife on social media. You guys are an awesome couple together. Even watching you playing basketball with your daughter.
Is that what that was called?
So, and I salute you, and I thank you for taking this time to hang out with me on the Carl B. Phillips Show. Any last words before we wrap up, speaking about the holiday seasons?
Yeah, just anybody that's going through in the season, man, we just, we're there for you, and don't feel that you can't reach out to somebody that loves you. I just pray peace and comfort over anybody that's going through during this season. You're not alone. That's how the enemy likes to make us feel, but you're not alone. And so I want you to know we love you. God is with you. We don't even understand, the beauty about the Christmas passages in the Gospels. We don't see, because, a lot of people say, well, the name of God is Yahweh, which it is, but that's actually unpronounceable. And so it's one of these things to where God reveals himself in several different ways throughout Scripture. Elohim, Yahweh. We get to Christ, we see this beautiful description of Emmanuel, which means God with us. That's the beauty of this season, is that it reminds us he's with us. Like, he's with you. You are not alone. He's with you. And I love the passage in Psalms where he says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil because he's with me. But the verse before, a lot of people missed, where it says that he says, lead me in a path of righteousness. Then, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. What is the path of righteousness? It's the shadow of death. Sometimes what you're in that looks like despair is the path that God wants you in, so he can show you, even there, I'm with you. And I just want them to know they're not alone. They're not alone. We love you. Reach out to somebody. Don't feel guilty for doing it. You're special to somebody, and just know that we're praying for you and we love you. So Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you so much, Pastor Gayle Brannan Jr. I am Carl B. Phillips, and you've been listening to the Carl B. Phillips Show. Again, just want to remind everybody to work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like no one's watching you. Merry Christmas. And remember, this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for you and me. I just quoted Donny Hathaway because that's one of my favorite songs. God bless until we meet again. Take care.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Thank you for listening to the Carl B. Phillips Show. For more information, go to carlbphillips.com.
The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Follow Carl B. Phillips on Instagram so we can stay in contact with each other.